Dynasty fans. It is Week 0, 2028, Year 4 of the Units Dynasty in College Football 26. And this season, we're going to try to do something a little different. We're going to try to do a week-by-week overview of each week of the season, see how the conferences change, not the conferences, but the teams change, the new conferences, how that affects our play style, and how well these teams are going to be doing this year. So starting off, we'll take an overview of the teams that are part of the league. We have Toledo, Ball State, UNLV, UTSA, Coastal Carolina, Temple, Hawaii, USF, Colorado State, Texas State, Wyoming, Navy, UConn, Liberty, and a returning member, ECU. What a slate of teams we have here, gentlemen, and we have some really interesting conferences. Starting out, as we saw in the previous video about the new conference changes, we are now going to be taking a look in the game to see what these conferences look like, who ranks where at Week 0. Starting off with the Big 12, we've got Liberty, Coastal Carolina, Ball State, Temple, and UTSA. Now we can see here that Coastal and Liberty are projected to be at the top of the conference. You know, not a lot of games played yet, only Coastal has played a game. He beat Ohio State, I believe. Looks like 10-7, so that's a tight game there. Coastal will probably take an early lead in this conference, but I feel like Liberty, Ball State, Temple, and heck, even UTSA, depending on how hard their schedule is, could make a run for that conference championship position. Now going on to, I believe the ACC is one of our other conferences. We have Wyoming, UNLV, Toledo, Texas State, and USF. All gritty teams full of passion, desire, and the will to win. That'll be an interesting one, and then we'll take a trip over to the Pac-12 with Hawaii, UConn, East Carolina, Colorado State, and Navy, aka the Drag Conference. Let's be for real here. This conference isn't serious. I think Hawaii is going to probably clear this conference unless ECU or UConn can surprise us. Colorado State and Navy seem to be in a perpetual state of rebuilding, so I expect Hawaii to clear this conference with ease. So that's just kind of an overview and a recap of our conferences. We can take a look at the top 25 here in Week 0 of 2028. No surprise, power teams at the top there, Alabama, Oregon, Texas. But look at number 10, we have our very own Toledo. Wow. Toledo, that is a great standing. To be, you know, pretty much in the preseason at this point. I think that's a great ranking. Did win the national championship last year, but smaller school. Maybe it was a fluke. Who knows? I don't think it would be a fluke, but the game might think it's a fluke, and that's why you're only ranked at 10. That's unfortunate. We'll go down further here. We got Texas State at 18, Coastal Carolina at 19, UNLV at 22, and Wyoming at 23. Honestly, a little surprised to see Ball State not in here. I think last season I was ending at around 21, maybe. But you know what? I don't take it as a sign of respect. We've gone 11-3, 3 straight years. I'm not mad about it. Won a bowl game every year. Just got to do better with those conference championship positions. So now we've covered conferences, the top 25. Let's take a look at the games of this week. We have a bunch of, CPU games. We got Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, Texas State, Louisiana, yada 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 yada. But this is the interesting one, a user game in Week 0, Hawaii and Temple. Now, gentlemen, there is a very real possibility that this game doesn't get played. I'm not sure if the head coach of Hawaii will be able to coach his game until like Monday maybe, and obviously we are not waiting a whole week to see Hawaii get his butt beat. I mean, frankly, we all know that's what's going to happen. The last game was a total fluke. Temple head coach will not be coaching off the hot spot anymore, so it is almost a guaranteed Temple W. That's right, you heard it here first, folks. A guaranteed Temple W in this Week 0 matchup against Hawaii. Other games, like we covered earlier, Coastal Carolina and Ohio State. Coastal squeaks out a win there. As Ball State, I play them Week 2, Ohio State that is, and I am terrified because of Coastal struggling this much that I can only imagine what my team is going to go through playing that Ohio State team. A couple other games, we got FCS Midwest and UNLV. Obviously, we can see there 35-3, easy W for UNLV. And we have, let's see, what else do we have? We have Navy versus FCS Southeast. Navy has yet to play that game, but I think they've confirmed that they will be playing that game today. So I'm assuming Navy will get the W. Navy, if you don't win this game, I think you can already chalk your season. So there is that. So we've covered the games of the week, top 25, conference standings. Let's pick a random team to see what their schedule is like. You can see my schedule right here. You know, it could be worse. You got Toledo and Ohio State first 2 weeks. That's going to be rough. Then kind of maybe, you know, I think I'll win most, if not all, these games in the middle here. Then we got Coastal and Liberty towards the end in those final 5 weeks. No, thank you. I think my season may be chalked. But let's go to another team that we can analyze here. Let's see what we got. Hawaii. Why not? We've already talked a little shit about Hawaii today, so we don't want to poke the bear too much, but let's do it anyways. We've got Hawaii starting out at Temple in this week. We've already covered that, and then they host USF in Week 1, the week after the Temple game. Now, the USF-Hawaii game, that will be an interesting one. I honestly don't know who would win there. USF doesn't have Quincy Porter anymore. You know, that's going to be a huge detriment to their team and their prospects. So I feel like that's a toss-up. Maybe want to give the edge to USF, but it honestly depends if they're throwing turnovers. So we go on later this year. Hawaii hosts Navy for a Pac-12 conference game. Obviously Hawaii W all the way. And then we got Hawaii going to Colorado State for another Pac-12 conference game. Give me Hawaii with that one also. I mean, come on, you know, it's Hawaii, you know. I mean, Hawaii, Colorado State, both in the Dreg Conference, but I think only one of them is a Dreg. Now going on to Saturday, November 4th, Week 10 of the season. Hawaii hosts UConn for a conference Pac-12 game. That will be a big game because it's towards the end of the season. I think UConn is going to be one of those teams that's fighting for a potential conference championship slot, and we need these teams to duke it out and give us an entertaining one because the season is on the line at this point, gentlemen. And then you go on to Hawaii's last game of the season. We have East Carolina. East Carolina. Give me ECU in that one. I'll take it. I'll take it all day. I think ECU's got that one in the bag. I think they'll be warmed up by this point in the season, and I think ECU will sneak one over the Hawaiian Rainbow Warriors. So now we've picked a random team to look at their schedule. Let's see what else we can dive into here. We can go to, you know, season stats, records. I mean, that's not even going to be relevant at this time because it's all team specific. And we haven't played any games, so we're still waiting to get to a lot of stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Heisman Watch. Why not Heisman Watch? It's so early in the season, but we love these early predictions. And what do you know? No user players. And, you know, I mean, what did we expect? I think we can expect at least to see 4 of these guys replaced by user players later on this season. But right now we got Harlem Berry with LSU, Taylon Taylor, CJ Carr, Winston Watkins, and Deuce Knight. Yeah, no one cares about these guys because they're all not making Heisman anyways. And what else do we have? So we got these teams. Let's see who we're waiting on. We're waiting on Temple and Hawaii, obviously, because they play a game. Texas State, Wyoming, got to do your recruiting. Navy, get that FCS game in. UConn, Liberty, doing recruiting also. So we're getting to the end of the week here, folks. We will be looking forward to all these new matchups and to this season unfolding. Stay classy, guys. Go get some grit.